is, my tool rest is 12 inches long. Well, I'm way out here on the end of it. So when I get that force, that leverage wants to rotate that tool rest. If I was in the center where I like to work, I wouldn't have that issue. So that's why I really have to take my time. So let's see, just for fun. It's got a little bit of shake there, but we can get up around 200 here, roughly, without too much craziness. I'll take whatever I can get. Make that horse run faster. Again, if you look at how I'm working, do I look like I'm all tensed up and stressed out and got white knuckle grip on the tool even though I got this big piece? I'm just nice and relaxed, just working away. If you try and beat it, it will beat you. So just let the tool do the work. Let the tool rest do its job. Okay, I'm going to stop and move my tool rest. Every little bit that I can get. And let's peel this off. That's going to come off anyway. No need to get hit with something that's going to fly, especially without a full face shield on here now. As a matter of fact, while I'm at it, and I highly recommend this, if you can peel loose bark off, especially a big piece like this, just take an old chisel and see if it'll come loose or not. If it'll peel without too much trouble, it's better than having it fly off and hit you. If it's on there real tight, then it's okay. You can turn it away, but like this is pretty loose, so just go ahead and take that off. Also, the bark is full of dirt and sand and grit and silica. It'll dull your tools more. So I don't know about you, but I don't want to sharpen any more than I have to or change cutters any more than I have to. All right, we'll leave it at that. Check everything's all good. Best tool holder in the world. You can't get your tools out. Again, check everything is tight. Off we go. This is one of my favorite things to do. First time I ever turned outboard, I was actually going to work for Nova Lathes in Atlanta at the IWF, the International Wood Festival or Fair, whatever they call it. And I turned 5 of these things that were 30 inches. And I did them on a Jet 1642 off the end with a tool, with a sawhorse for my outboard. I just took a sawhorse and I took a 2x6 piece of yellow pine pressure treated lumber and cut it to the right height or length for the height of the tool rest. Slid the headstock down to the end and roughed them out and showed up at the show with these big discs. I've been hooked ever since. So I can see there's still a big old gap down in there, but I want to see if I can get any more speed yet. Not much.
You probably wouldn't. Have you ever turned this dry?
Have I ever turned this dry?
Something this big, you probably wouldn't have it dry. Less moisture, but hard wood.
Yeah, so it wouldn't weigh as much. The question was, would you ever turn this dry? I mean, there's no reason why you couldn't. It would be more work on the tools as far as keeping them sharp. The piece would be lighter. It'd be dustier, things like that. But otherwise, there'd be no difference that I can think of right off the top of my head. We are slowly creeping up. We've passed the 200 mark. when I don't lean on it at all. See, I hate being out here on the very end, but I have to be. I can get a little bit more room here, so I'm going to go ahead and come on in. It's not much, but I'll take it. All right. Is Doug here? Doug, there you are. I haven't changed his cutter since last week. This is still the one from last week. Yeah, Doug Dixon's sales manager here for Easy Wood Tools. So if anybody got any questions, go ask the man in the starched white shirt. It's still cutting fine. I used it all last week and I meant to change it and I've been busy. A little bit though. Okay, let's switch to bowl gouge and see what happens here. I haven't sharpened this one since yesterday. I'm actually trying to cut with the wing a little bit and get rid of a little more material now. I think I'll go to a bigger round cutter. See, I change around until I find whatever works best that I like. Let's try this bigger round cutter. That's definitely grabbing a hold of it. This is the Carter cutter, the Carter axe. So you can see how we're starting to, slowly get this thing carved away out here. Do you need a mask? I got a broken strap back there. You can hold it up. Let's see what it looks like. Anyway, I haven't stopped and looked at it in a while. So we still have this flat section here with the bark in it, and that one there. So we're closing in on it. Just because I like to change things around. That 1/2-inch bowl gouge was kind of just acting rough. It's the Haynes tool, his bowl gouge. I like the handle, like the tool. This is one where he's got a triple grind on it. Bevel 1, Bevel 2, and Bevel 3. And he's got a special jig that you said, like in the Wolverine, except he's got different points and you move it around and he gets this rounded over profile to it. I like to feel on the handle, and what I'm supposed to do when I'm paying attention is you line up the flute with one of the, either a groove or a lobe, whichever you prefer. I like to line it up with the groove and the handle. It's got a real nice, soft, but firm feel to it. If anybody hasn't seen these before and you want to check this tool out later on, come by. It's first time I used it, I went, wow, that feels good. Haynes is not out here this year, the Hat Man. So that seems like a pretty sweet size. Not too big, not too small. Cutting without a lot of fight. Leverage is pulling the tool rest into the piece. So I'm gonna have to stop here. I'll try and keep that microphone out of the way. Sometimes you can just change hands and make the chips go a different direction. Sometimes not. Keeps moving his tool rest. Let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this corner back here. It's got to go anyhow. I miss my face shield. I'm not into eating this stuff. Let's move this over here where I remember where it's at. So getting close. I want to get rid of that before I come around to really come around to the back. There we go. Finally getting somewhere up here on the front corner of this guy a little bit. Now one thing you'll notice, I start leaning back. This front corner of this little rim is pretty thin. It can break before you cut it sometimes. It breaks, it flies off, hits you in the face. So I mean, I could be right here working, but it's a whole lot safer to stand back here in case it actually does break instead of cutting through.